Hi guys, welcome to this webinar. Today we will be discussing the release highlights of the service scope, meaning we are going to see the new features of version 18.1 until 18.4, and which apps are we going to cover? Well, we'll have project, field service, timesheet, planning, and to-do. My name is Lucy. I am a business analyst and service expert here at Odoo, and I will be your main speaker for today. So what is the objective of today? Well, you know, Odoo is improving its software every day, and so people are not always aware of all the ongoing improvements and new features. So the goal of today is really to make a recap for you of, the main improvements we've done. And we will also have a small Q&A at the end to answer your questions. Regarding the agenda of today, we will really cover application per application. We'll have the list of the features, and then I'll show you how it works in a database. So let's dig right into it with the project application. Okay, so the first change we have in 18.1 is a change in the subtask visibility buttons. So basically what we used to have is that you would have a small eye icon on each subtask where you could activate or deactivate the visibility of the subtask. So it was really task specific. Well, now we have changed this such that you have a main button in order to show all subtasks. So what does it look like in a database? I'm going to go in my project application here, and I'm gonna select my office design project here. And so from now on, if you go here in the top bar menu, you see that you have a button show subtask. And so when you activate it, we see that we have additional subtasks that are being displayed. And if you deactivate, then they are hidden. Just pay attention because until 18.3, the button here, Show Subtask, was actually here in this main menu. So depending on in which version you are, the button might not be displayed here in the top bar menu. So this is really great because it just allows you to display all subtasks in one click and to hide them in one click. You don't need to do it subtask by subtask anymore. The next one, so in 18.1 as well, we have subcontracted services that generates a new PO instead of grouping on an existing one. So what we used to have is that if you would have a subcontracted services and that you would create another sales order, then it would be added on an existing PO that is also in draft for the same supplier. Well, now it's not the case anymore. You will have a new PO that is created. So this is great in order to just give the instructions to your subcontractors. You can really do it job by job, and it is automatically divided. So let's have a look at this. I'm going to go into my sales app, but first of all, I'm going to configure the subcontract service. So I'm just going to take a product type service. I'm going to take, for example, here the elevator installation. I'm going to go to my purchase tab. Here I'm going to activate subcontract service, and I'm going to indicate that, for example, Azure Interior is my supplier. Okay. I'm going to create a first sales order, taking Deco Addict as a client. I'm taking my elevator installation. I'm going to confirm the quotation right away. Okay, so here I do have my purchase order that is triggered. We have a first one. And if we create another one, I'm going to take another client. I'm going to take the same product. I'm going to confirm it again. Now we see that we have another purchase order that is created, so it's not grouped anymore. Let's move on to the next improvement. We have now in 18.2 graphs that are clickable in the reporting section. So that is a great improvement to just access the data that is being displayed. So let's have a look at this. I'm going to go into the project application. into the reporting section. I'll take task analysis, for example. So here we have the task by project and by status. So if you want to see, for example, all of the tasks that are in the field service project and that are in the stage new, I can simply click on it and access all the data right away. So no need to open another window or to make any kind of other manipulation. You can just click on it right away and access the data. Next one, we have the milestones that were added to the top bar. So for the ones who don't know, we have an amazing feature called the top bar, where you can see all the related data from the other applications that are linked to that project. So you can just simply activate it here. And we used to have the milestones that were not available. Well, now it is the case, so you can just simply display the milestones on the top bar and easily access the milestones from there. So no need to go through the settings and to the dashboard. You just you can just access it directly from the top bar menu. Okay, next one, still in version 18.3. The purchase orders are now taken into account in the project profitability menu. So here basically, before when you used to create a purchase order and that it is linked to a project, it wasn't taken into account in the dashboard profitability. Well, now it is the case. So that's a great improvement because it allows you to already take the PO into account in the profitability of the project. You don't need to wait for the vendor bill anymore. So let's have a look at this. From here, I'm going to display my purchase orders, and I'm going to create one from here right away. I'm going to indicate my supplier, and I'm just gonna up here, I'm just gonna take a project with an invoicing policy that is ordered quantity. Okay. Let's take, for example, a desk organizer. I'm going to put it at 1000. And of course, the PO needs to be confirmed. So I'm going to confirm the order. I'm going to go back to my project. And I believe that it was this one. I'm going to access the dashboard. And so from now on, here we see that the purchase orders is taken into account. And of course, moving forward, if you have a vendor bill, well, it's not going to be, if you link the vendor bill with the PO, you are not going to have a double encoding, so that is taken into account. Okay, let's go to the next page. In 18.3, we also had a few improvements in the Gantt view. Namely, we have the collapse empty columns, Kanban cards, and an undo button. I'm going to show you right away what it looks like. I'm just going to take a project and go here. So the first one, we have collapse empty columns. You already see it from here. So basically, you see that from now on, the columns that are not used will be collapsed by default. So how does Odoo determine that? It is based on the working schedule of the company. So if you have a company that is not open during the weekends, well, the weekends will be collapsed by default, so it doesn't take unnecessary space in the Gantt view. Again, a great improvement here to make this view more IT-friendly and user-friendly. And here what's nice as well is that in case you do have something planned during that time, well, it will be uncollapsed by default, so you will be able to see it. Next one, we had the Kanban card. So here I might just take another project. Let's have a look here. I'll just go to the field service app. I'll go to all apps by user. Okay. So here you see that if I click on a task, we have this wizard that was actually totally revamped. So it's now called a Kanban card. And so basically we have information that is displayed more efficiently and more beautifully. So this has been improved. And the last improvement that we have on the Gantt view is the undo button. So basically here, if I move a task to another day, you see that from now on, you have a pop-up with an undo button. So this is great because it allows you to just cancel your change very easily in case you've made a mistake. Next one, we have multiple priority levels for task. So we only had a one level priority level for task. This has been changed. So now you have a 3 level priority. So you can basically add more details regarding the priority of your task. And let me show you this. So if we go to the Gantt view, you see that from here now we have a 3-star priority level. So how does it work? Basically, if I put a 3-star, it works just like for the CRM application. So the one with a top priority level will appear on top here of the list. Next one, we have a progress bar for a project manager in the Gantt view. So this one is great as well. Basically, if you activate the project stages, so let me show you quickly. If I go here, configuration and settings, I have activated the project stages. Then you will be able to have here a Gantt view from your project overview. And so basically, this will show you the workload per project manager. So the project manager that is assigned to the project, you'll be able to see his workload. And so you can easily manage that from this view. The next two ones are some nice big new features. The first one, we have task templates. So basically from 18.3, you are able to create some task templates such that it really helps you to create some new task right away. I'm going to show you afterwards. And then the next one is project templates. So the way project templates have been work has been revamped. So before that, project templates used to be common projects. Well, now you need to really define it as a project template in order to be able to use it. So let me show you. So from now on, if you go to the project application and in the configuration menu, you will see project templates and task templates. If I go to project template, I have already created one. So you see that the renovation project doesn't appear here in your main overview. So it's also nice because it can avoid you from having people creating data in the project template. Now you have really a dedicated section for it. And if we go into the task templates, so you see here I already have 2 task templates that are created. They are project specific. So you see that here they are related to the subtask. And let me show you how it works. So if I go to my office design project, you see that now you have a small arrow here and you can just easily select the project template that you want to use. And so this allows you to have some pre-configured data set in, such as a tag, a specific description, an assignee, etc., etc. For the project templates, it's a bit the same way of working. You see that from this project overview, you also have an arrow here, and you can just select here the project template. This is related to a next feature that I'm going to show afterwards. But so basically, that's how it works. Let's go to the next slide. This is the feature I was talking about. So we have now the possibility to dispatch tasks based on project roles. So basically on the project template and specifically on the task templates, you will be able to set up a project role. So let me show you this. I'm going to go to my configurations and my project template here. We have here renovation. So you see that you have a banner with the template and we see the different tasks. And on the task template, you see here that I have set up some roles. So here I have, for example, okay, junior, technician, etc., etc. When you will use this project template, I'm going to select it from here. You see that you have this pop-up. So here you can just create the project name, assign a specific client, etc., etc. And here project role, you are able, that's here that you will have to tell Odoo, okay, who is going to fill in the junior role for this project. I'm going to choose, for example, Mark Demo. Who's going to be the technician? Well, I'm going to put Mitchell Admin. Once you have selected this, you can do create project and you see that Odoo has automatically assigned the right task to the right person according to the role that you have defined. So here again, it's a great way of to automatize the assignation of task. Okay, next one, we have create a project from a sales order without a service line. So basically, let me go in the database right away. From now on, what you can do is that you can, I'm just going to create here a sales order and I'm going to take, for example, acoustic block screen. So what you used to be able to do is that if you had a service line in your sales order, you could just simply come here and do create project. This used to be only available for service line. Well, now it is also available if you don't have a service line. So for example, if you are manufacturing a product, but you're not using the MRP app because it's too complex and that the project app is enough for you, well, you could just, simply create the project right away from here thanks to this button. The next one, we have consume or maintain buffer when calculating dependencies. So let's have a look. I'm going to go to my project application and I'm going to take, for example, research and development. From here, I'm just going to create some new task. I'll name it Task 1 up. Wait a minute. Okay, so basically now what we have, with task dependencies, we used to have here a arrow buttons that would allow you to basically reschedule the task based on the dependencies. Well, this has changed. So from now on, what you have here is 3 buttons. So you need to pre-select the button. And the objective of this is that you are basically able to determine if you want to keep the buffer between 2 tasks or if you want to consume it. So if you say keep buffer and that you move a task, it will keep the buffer between the both of them. But if you select use buffer and that you move the task, then it will use the buffer that you have. And then if you select manual reschedule here, then nothing will happen. You will just do everything manually. Next one, in 18.4, we have the drag and drop from the calendar side panel. So we used to not be able to schedule tasks from the calendar view. Let me just take a project where we have some tasks to schedule here, for example. So here what is new is that we now have this specific section where you will see the task to schedule. I'm going to take here my week view. And so from this view, you can basically take your task and drag and drop it into where you want to schedule it. So that's as well a great improvement for the calendar view. You are able to schedule it right away from here with a drag and drop feature. And last one here, we have rental orders that were added to the top bar. So here it's a bit like for the milestones that were added to the top bar. We used to have rental orders that were not available, while now you have them in the top bar, such that you have a better integration between projects and the potential other records that you have in other applications. Okay, that's it for the project app. Now let's move on to the field service application. The first improvement that we have is an improvement in the stage configuration. So basically, if we dig into the database, we have the following view. So if you go to configuration and then stages, so this view was improved. So now you're able to see right away which project has which stage, and you can easily modify it just to be a bit less easy from this view. But so this has been improved. The next one concerns the map view. So now we are able to change the order of task from the map view. So let me go into the database. Just gonna go here to all task, and I'm gonna go to the map view. So you see that from here you're able to basically drag and drop the order of the task. It's not going to change the planned date, but it's really if the technician wish to reorder the order of the task, he can just simply do it from Odoo right away. He doesn't need to do it in Google Maps. So that's a nice improvement as well. In 18.1, we also have an improvement in the integration with the appointment app. So we were already able to create a task from an appointment. This integration has been improved such that you have the assignee, but also the duration of the appointment and the appointment details that are taken back on the task. So let me show you this. I'm going to go to appointments, and here I have configured a cleaning service appointment. If we go to the options, here I have configured an upfront payment here, which is called cleaning service. And if we have a look at this, we see that cleaning service will create a task in the field service project. I have also added here a few questions. So let's book a cleaning service meeting here. So I will go to the website. I'm going to book it for today at 2 p.m. Email address, which room should we focus on? Here I will put kitchen, and any product allergies which you pay attention to, I will just say no. I will proceed to payments, and I will pay now. Okay. Let's go, sorry, let's go to the field service application, and I'm just gonna go to the task here. So you see that for today I have the task that is created, but if we go more into details, we see that it was automatically assigned to Mitchell admin. We have the questions, so the appointment details that are taken over in the description of the task, and we have the duration that is automatically set. Regarding the next new feature, so from 18.3, we now have a geolocation feature. So basically, this needs to be activated in the settings of the project. And what it will do is that at the start and at the stop of the timer, you will have a log note in the chatter with some GPS coordinates. So let me show you this. First, let me show you where to activate it. I'm going to go to my different projects, and I'm going to take the field service one here, settings here. So in the settings of the project, you see that you have the geolocation feature. I'm going to activate it. Okay. And so if I go to the field service app, I'm going to take this task and I'm going to start the timer. So here I have this pop-up. You need to allow sharing your location. And so here you see that you have a log node with the GPS coordinates and you have a link to see it on a map. You can then stop it and log your time, and you also have a second log node with the GPS coordinates. And the last feature, the last improvement for the field service app is the hide unit price in product catalog. So basically we received the request a lot from clients that they didn't necessarily want to display the price of product to their clients on the worksheet. So now you have the possibility to hide it. Again, this is a feature that needs to be activated in the project settings. So let me show you right away. I'm gonna go here to my settings of the field service project, and here, so in product and task, you have here hide prices on customer report. I'm going to tick this box and save. I'm gonna go back to my field service app. And from here, I'm going to add a product. Let's say this one, for example. And so from now on, if you make the report sign, you see that from this view, the price of the product is not being displayed. The client is going to sign the worksheet report. Okay. And so this will be the same here on the PDF. You don't have the price that is displayed on the worksheet. What is great about this feature as well is that you can also hide the product price for users who only have a user access to field service. So let's say that you have technicians, they do not have access to the sales or to the invoicing app, and they only have a user access to field service. Well, if they go on this view, they will not see the price of product from this overview. So again, this was a feature, a request that was asked a lot. So you can now just simply activate it on the project. Okay, that was it for the field service application. Now let's move on to the timesheet app. Here we have 3 major improvements. The first one, we have the colors that are now displayed in the grid view if you group by employee. So basically, if I go to the timesheet application here, and you go to timesheets, all timesheets, if you group by employee, I'm going to take last week, you see now that the colors are being displayed here and on the right. It used to not be the case, so again, that's a great way of easily seeing if an employee is over timesheeting or under timesheeting, or if it was just the right amount of hours. Next one, we have hidden timesheets in portal if timesheets page option is disabled. So basically, if we go to the website application, I'm going to go into my account and I'm going to click here on edit. If you select this page, you have the option to choose which kind of information that you want to display. Before, if you used to deactivate timesheets, well, you just had the box that would be hidden, but the client could still see the timesheets from the task. Well, from now on, if you deactivate timesheets, the box will be hidden and the client won't be able to see the timesheets from the task, so it makes more sense for that feature. And the last one here, we have multi-create from the calendar view. So basically from 18.4, we have a great new feature that allows you to easily create timesheets from the calendar view. Let me just show you how it works. So I'm going to go to the Timesheet app, and I'm going to go from here. So let's say that I'm a consultant who works on one big project, and I've worked the whole week on the same task. Basically from this view, so you have here the plus button, where you need to pre-select the project and the task. So here I'm gonna keep this project, and let's say that I've worked the whole week on the decoration. I'm gonna be able to say how much time I've spent. Let's say it was 8 hours, and I can add here a description. Here, let's say I'm just gonna put work on decoration. Okay, when this is done, you can or just select where you want to add your timesheets, or if you want to fill it in for the whole week, you can just do like this. So this will add one timesheet per day, and you can just do that very easily. You don't need to enter each line every time. Okay, that was it for the timesheet application. Let's move on to the next app. So here we have the planning application. Okay, so here we have 4 major improvements for the planning app. The first one is that you now have a new report that allows you to compare planning with attendance. So let's go to the database, to the planning application. Of course, you need to have the attendance app that is installed. And when this is done, in the reporting section, you will have planning/attendance analysis. And from here, it basically allows you to compare the data from the planning app and from the attendance app. So it allows you to see which positions are overstaffed or understaffed. So very easy, you have the data in one view, no need to build a custom report for this. Next one, we have a multi-create. We have the possibility, to easily create a multi-day shift from the Gantt view. So I'm gonna go to the Gantt view right away, to the schedule. And so from the Gantt view, let's say that you want to plan a shift for the whole week for Randall Lewis. Well, what you can do is simply from here, you select your whole week, and from there you can select the template. So let's say it's gonna be 8 to 12 management. I'm gonna select it and I'm gonna save, and you see that it's gonna create one shift for each day very easily. The next point, so we have an improvement in the integration between rental and planning. So basically, if you go to the rental app, let's say that I'm renting some bikes and I'm not going to use the inventory application, but I'm just gonna configure gonna manage the stock with my resources in the planning app. So here what I have done is that I have my bike rental, and you see that you have planned service as bike. Okay, well, what will happen is that if the resource is not available, then you will not be able to validate the rental order. So it really avoids you from planning rental orders where a resource might not be available, so it can really avoid conflict. So let me just show you. I'm gonna take my bike rental. I'm just gonna take it for today, and I'm gonna try to confirm. We see that we have a pop-up. This sales order can be confirmed. No resource are available for the shifts in bike rental. So if we have a look at the planning app, we see that from here I have my 2 bikes that are already busy for the week. If I delete one of the shifts and that I go back to my rental application, okay, I'm gonna try to confirm again, and now we see that we are able to confirm it. The last improvement for the planning application is the mass create from the calendar view. So it's exactly the same way as the timesheet application. If we go to the planning app, and we go to the calendar view, we are able, by selecting here the plus button, we are able to easily create shift templates. So you first have to select which kind of shift template you want, let's say developer, and you're able to, or you assign a resource right away, so you add the resource and you untick the box OpenShift, or if you say I want to keep it as an OpenShift, then you just leave it like this, and the same way you just click on a precise day, or you come here on the week and you say, okay, I want to have one shift every day for the next week, and you simply, well, create it like this. So again, great improvement to massively create some shifts in the planning app. Okay, that was it for the planning application. We have one last app to cover, which is the To-Do app. And here we have two improvements. So from 18.2, we have a new deadline field on the to-dos. So let's have a look. If we go to the To-Do app, we see that now you have a deadline. And of course, if you convert your to-do into a task, the deadline will be taken as deadline on the task as well. So we see that the information is kept on the task. Last improvement on the To-Do app, we are now able to create to-dos by sending an email to an email alias. So if we go into the database, if you don't have any data, you will have here text being displayed with the name of the alias. Here I already have some demo data, so we don't see it. But if we go to the alias menu, we see that the alias name is just right here. So if we send an email to this email alias, it will create a to-do, and you are able to, well, restrict to whom it should be available. So here it's only employees, for example. Now a few sneak peek for version 18.5. So this is not in production yet, but we can already give you a small overview of what's coming. This is just a few points, but you will have way more features available. So for the project application, what you will have is that you'll have the possibility to configure task templates on service products. So if you need a specific description to be displayed on the task, but you don't want to put it in your description of your sales order lines, you'll be able to determine a task template on the service products. What you could also do is put a task template with some subtask linked to it, so you could have one service line in your sales order that triggers multiple tasks in a project. So again, that's a great improvement for the project app. And the next one, we have the Gantt view on the portal of projects. So whenever you are sharing a project with a portal user, the Gantt view will be available. For the field service application, so the integration with appointments will be available without a prepayment. During the demo, what I have shown you is that I need to have a prepayment online. Well, this should also be available without an online prepayment, basically. And then we have as well an improvement in the visibility conditions in the worksheet. So basically before, if we had visibility conditions, the label of the field was still visible. Well, now it's going to be real visibility conditions in the worksheets. Next one, for the Timesheet app, we will have a green color code for exact work hours. Currently it is black, so it might lead to confusion, but so it will turn green from 18.5. And we have here 3 improvements for the planning app. So the auto plan feature should be available for resources working flexible hours. Currently, you cannot use the auto plan if someone is working flexibly. We will also have a revamp of the planning PDF. So some people might not know it, but if you go to the planning app and that you select the shift and that you click on print, you have a PDF of the planning. Well, this PDF is going to be revamped such that it is more pretty and more easily readable. And last one for planning, we will have a preview button. So a bit like for the quotations, you'll be able to preview the planning of an employee, a bit like for the preview button that you have in the quotation, so you can easily see what it would look like. That's it for today's presentation. We will have a look at the questions in a few minutes. Thank you. Okay, so let's have a look at the different questions. We have a first question from LinkedIn. So can expenses and income be associated to a project in order to be able to control expenses, income, etc., etc. So here, yeah, you can link some expenses to a project as well as income. So for that, you just need to use, or you link it directly to the project, or you just select the right analytic account. We have a question from Rodney. Should you check the box to hide the prices on worksheet for each project individually? Yes, so it needs to be ticked on each project. It allows you to have some flexibility in case you have a different type of project. So yes, it needs to be checked on each project individually. And we will have a last question here from Koen. Can we choose which task template is picked when a task is automatically created on order? So here, I don't think that you will be able to choose the task template. Basically here, you will just be able, it's the task template that will be configured on the service that will be taken automatically, but we could still improve that feature if we see an interesting added value in it. Okay, so here I think that that's it for the questions. So thank you for watching us today. I hope that you are excited about all the new features, and don't forget that Odoo experience is coming. So here you will see even more new features regarding Odoo 19. Thank you, have a great day, see you.